2026 is the year you finally stop lying to yourself. The year you stop pretending that you're okay with living an average life when, deep down, you know you were never meant for average. There's always been something inside you that wanted more growth, more freedom, more purpose. But for years, you ignored it. Not because you lacked ability, but because you kept giving your energy to the wrong habits, the wrong people, and the wrong priorities. What makes this moment different is that you're exhausted. Not physically, mentally. You're tired of hearing your own excuses. Tired of telling yourself next month or next year. Tired of watching people with half your talent move ahead simply because they showed up when you didn't. That realization hurts, but it also does something powerful. It wakes you up. Comfort never changes people. Pain does. You're restarting to understand something most people never do. Growth doesn't happen when you feel ready. Growth happens when you're fed up. When you reach the point where staying the same feels more painful than changing. And that's exactly where you are right now. You're re-entering a phase where ordinary people turn into dangerous versions of themselves. Dangerous to limits, dangerous to comfort, dangerous to the old rules they once followed. Once that switch flips, 2026 stops being just another year on the calendar. It becomes the year you look back on and say, that's when everything changed. The truth is, 2025 is already gone. Every excuse you made, every goal you postponed, every promise you broke to yourself. It's all behind you now. But here's what nobody tells you. You don't need a new year. You need a new standard. A higher one. Because if you keep living with the same standards, nothing changes. Not your body, not your confidence, not your income, not your life. 2026 is going to expose you. It is going to show you whether you truly want the life you keep imagining, or whether you just enjoy fantasizing about it. Because results don't care about intention, they only respond to action. If you repeat the same habits, you'll repeat the same outcomes. Different year, same story. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. Small wins stacked daily. 20 minutes of training. 5 pages of reading. 1 clean meal. 1 productive decision. Motivation isn't something you wait for. It's something you earn by acting first. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates belief. And belief changes identity. Your future self is watching you right now. And he's tired of seeing you sabotage your own potential. He's tired of watching you choose comfort over growth and excuses over discipline. 2026 can either be the year you finally become the person you said you'd be, or just another chapter of wasted potential. To win at a high level, you have to be a little crazy, a little obsessed. People are going to misunderstand you. They'll call you extreme. They'll say you're doing too much. You have to be okay with that. Because success isn't part-time. It's not something you switch on and off. It's an all-the-time commitment. In any field, business, fitness, entrepreneurship, life, you're either fully in or you're watching from the sidelines. You can be a fan of greatness, or you can become a player in the game. Fans admire. Players sacrifice. Fans talk. Players execute. And 2026 is asking you a simple question. Which one are you going to be? What if this is the year you finally get the life you've been dreaming about? The confidence, the body, the mindset, the freedom. But only if you show up every single day, not when you feel inspired, not when it's easy, but when it's uncomfortable. Because motivation without action is entertainment. Discipline without emotion is power. You're going to have to increase your sacrifice or reduce your expectations. Not everyone is built for this path. And that's okay, but don't prove anything to the world. Prove it to yourself. Commit fully this time. Put your heart into it, because when you do, the rewards won't just change your life. They'll change who you are. 2026 has the potential to be extraordinary for you. A year of growth, a year of blessings, a year where you step into the person you were always meant to become. Your past doesn't get a vote anymore. Your credit, your mistakes, your failed relationships, leave them behind. You only get one life. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want another year that looks exactly like the last one? Time moves fast. 1 year from now will arrive whether you change or not. The only difference is who you'll be when it does. Will your future self feel pride or regret? For years, you told yourself, new year, new me. But nothing changed. Because changing the calendar doesn't change the person. The same habits, the same thinking, the same decisions create the same results. If you want 2026 to be different, you have to treat every day like January 1st. With intention, with focus, with urgency. The truth is, happiness doesn't come from constantly getting more. It comes from wanting less while becoming more. People spend their lives chasing upgrades, bigger money, better bodies, nicer things, but the satisfaction never lasts. The goalposts always moves. Real peace comes from appreciating where you are while still working toward where you want to be. You can chase success without letting it control your happiness. Work hard, but don't let your self-worth depend on outcomes, because the real win is becoming the kind of person who can handle success when it arrives. Statistics don't lie. Most people quit on their goals within weeks, not because they're incapable, but because they underestimate the power of consistency and overestimate motivation. You don't need 10 goals. You need 1 or 2 priorities executed relentlessly. While others celebrate and waste time, you build. While others relax, you invest in yourself. That's why you'll win. Not because you're special, but because you're disciplined. 2025 was for learning. 2026 is for execution. You're no longer waiting for permission. You're no longer standing on the sidelines, watching others live the life you want. You've grown. Quietly. Internally. And now, you're ready. 2026 isn't just another year. It's the turning point. You owe it to yourself to go all in, to bet on you, to believe that what's in your mind can become real. Everything around you started as an idea in someone's head. The only difference between them and you is belief backed by action. The real risk isn't working for yourself. The real risk is letting someone else decide your future. Lock in for 60 days. Just 60. 2 months of pure discipline can rewire your brain, reset your habits, and redefine your identity. Most people waste 60 days. You can use them to rebuild your life. And it starts with one decision. No longer accepting less than you deserve. At some point, you have to stop negotiating with yourself. You have to stop lowering your standards just to stay comfortable. Nobody should have the power to control how you show up in life. Nobody should decide how you feel about yourself, what you believe irrecoverably of, or how small you choose to play. That power only exists if you give it away. And in 2026, you're taking it back. There comes a moment in every serious transformation where you stop asking for permission. You stop waiting for validation. You stop explaining yourself to people who aren't willing to walk your path. That moment doesn't feel soft or motivational. It feels uncomfortable, lonely, and heavy. But that's the price of becoming someone different. This is the year you become selfish in the healthiest way possible. Selfish with your time. Selfish with your energy. Selfish with your focus. Because if you don't protect those things, someone else will waste them for you. You stop settling. You stop negotiating your non-negotiable. You stop bending your boundaries just to keep people comfortable while you slowly lose yourself. The truth is, nobody can control your life without your consent. People can talk. People can judge. People can try to pull you back into old patterns. But what you accept, that's on you. And once you understand that, everything changes. You no longer chase approval. You no longer live to please. You live aligned with your truth. And alignment creates power. If something doesn't elevate you, it doesn't belong in your life. If it drains you, distracts you, or keeps you stuck, it has to go unapologetically. Because growth requires subtraction. You cannot build a new life while holding on to everything that created the old one. Now ask yourself this honestly. If you already knew you were going to win in 2026, how would you think? How would you act? What standards would you live by? What excuses would you stop tolerating? That version of you isn't imaginary. It's waiting for you to step into it. Your mind is worth millions. You are not here to work for money. Money is supposed to work for you. You are always at the right place, at the right time, when you're prepared. Your name will be spoken in rooms you've never entered yet. Things are working out for you, even when you can't see it. But don't get it twisted, where you are right now is your responsibility. Not your parents, not your past, not your circumstances. Every decision you made led you here. That's not judgment. That's power. Because if your decisions got you here, your decisions can take you somewhere better. So when you write your goals for 2026, don't just write outcomes. Write behaviors. Write discipline. Write consistency. Write integrity. Write keeping promises to myself. Because talent without discipline means nothing. Motivation without structure fades fast. The people who win are the ones who do the boring work long after the excitement is gone. One of the most powerful frameworks you can use this year is simple. Stop. Start. Continue. What are you going to stop doing? Because the fastest way to level up is always adding more. It is quitting what no longer serves you. Winners quit all the time. They quit habits. They quit distractions. They quit relationships. They quit paths that drain them, not out of fear, but out of clarity. What are you going to continue doing? The things that nourish you. The habits that ground you. The routines that make you better. And what are you going to start doing? Not dramatically. Not perfectly. Just consistently. Small starts compound into massive change. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. January 1st doesn't change anything. You wake up the same person with the same tendencies and the same temptations. The only way 2026 becomes your year is if you treat every single day like it matters. Like it counts. Like it's a chance to outwork the old version of you. Your identity isn't dictated by a calendar. It's dictated by your actions. People chase happiness by chasing more. More money, more things, more status. But happiness doesn't come from constantly upgrading your life. It comes from wanting less while becoming more. Peace comes when you stop needing achievements to feel okay with yourself. You can still want big things. You can still work relentlessly. Just don't let your self-worth be held hostage by outcomes. Because the real victory is becoming disciplined, grounded, and internally strong. Not just externally successful. Most people fail their goals not because they aim too high, but because they aim too many directions at once. You don't need to do everything. You need to do a few things extremely well. Focus beats ambition without direction. While others party, you prepare. While others waste time, you invest in yourself. That's why you'll win. Not because you're lucky, but because you stayed consistent when nobody was watching. 2025 taught you lessons. 2026 is where you apply them. You're no longer standing on the sidelines. You're no longer waiting to be chosen. You're choosing yourself, and that changes everything. Bet on yourself. Believe that what you imagine can become real. Every invention, every business, every breakthrough started as a thought. The only difference is execution. Look in for 60 days, just 60. 2 months of discipline can rewire your brain, reset your dopamine, and redefine your identity. Most people waste 60 days scrolling, drinking, and procrastinating. You can use 60 days to rebuild your body, your confidence, and your future. You don't accept less anymore. You don't play small anymore. You don't delay the work anymore. A year from now, you'll either thank yourself or hate yourself. The choice is made daily. 2026 isn't waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting for you to act. And this time, you will.